Proofs involving triangles, problem type 2. Again, we're going to take a look here at our given information. We are given that side EF is congruent to side GF, so E to F is congruent to G to F. We trace, we hatch, have a pair of sides, and we're done. We're also told that DF bisects angle EFG, so I trace EFG, and DF cuts that in half. So I know that these two angles right here are congruent. That would be angle EFD is congruent to angle GFD, and that's because of that word bisect. That's implied. Now, what else do we know to be true? We know that DF is congruent to DF. There's a pair of angles because of the reflexive property, so this is congruent. So we take a look at what we have here. We have a pair of sides, and then we have a squeeze angle, another pair of sides. So it's easy to tell that these two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. It's very important you follow GIFT here. Given implies freebies, talk it through. So let's go ahead, and again we're trying to make the triangles congruent. So we come here to our proof. Step number 1 was our first pair of sides. So we know EF and GF are congruent because it's given. That was our first pair of sides. These were congruent because they were given. Now, because of the bisector, which is also given, so we send it to proof, we get the angles. We get angle EFD is congruent to angle GFD. And that is because of the angle bisector. So we come here, we're looking for a definition of an angle bisector. Right there. Make sure it's angle bisector and not a segment bisector. Oh, I did angle addition. I went bisector. Make sure you click the correct one. Yep, good. And where do I get that information? From line 2. So far what do we have? We have a pair of sides which are congruent, and because of the bisector we have a pair of angles. Then there was a third pair of sides, which was the reflexive sides. DF is congruent to DF. So we come here and we're going to do our sides. DF is congruent to DF. You should use the segments there, and this is because of the reflexive property. Right there. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. We have a pair of sides, then we had a pair of angles, and we have another pair of sides. Now we can say that the triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. And the reason is side, angle, side. And then it's going to ask us to tell us which steps does that include. And that is line 1 is our first pair of sides. Line 3 gives us our pair of angles, and line 4 gives us our other pair of sides. Again, side, angle, side. Line 1, pair of sides. Line 3, pair of angles. Line 4, another pair of sides.